the candidates, and let me tell you, only one candidate got an A in my book, and that's Michelle Bachmann. She was absolutely incredible on Monday night. She really was electrifying. She told her story to the American people. And like I told a good colleague of mine last night, it's like a SAT algorithm. You know, Michelle Bachmann is to Mitt Romney what Barack Obama was to Hillary Clinton. Mitt Romney should be very afraid of Michelle Bachmann going into the Iowa caucus, especially because he's not playing in Iowa like Michelle Bachmann is. And if Michelle Bachmann wins Iowa, Michelle Bachmann will roll around and win South Carolina. It'll be a 2-2 game, even if he wins New Hampshire and Nevada. So we need to pay attention to Miss Bachmann, but she's doing big things.
That's very interesting. Sue, as a former Congresswoman, I know that you maybe even see some similarities in Ms. Bachmann's ascent. I mean, there's still, even though we talk about there are women in Congress, there's still not a lot of us. No. I mean, there are not a lot of females in Congress. So when you see one run for president, it's still like watching a dog walk on its hind legs for 50 days in a row. I mean, it's still pretty rare, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. When you talk about the number of women in Congress, you're talking about mostly Democrat women. There are very few Republican women left. When I went into Congress, my class alone, that freshman class had 7 women in it. That just simply was that was great because we really added to the number of Republican women. Now, I'm not sure, but I think there's like 21 Republican women left.
They're not a lot.
As opposed, there's nearly 100 Democrat women. So there's definitely an uneven situation with regard to that, but also I think that clearly demonstrates the trouble that Michelle Bachmann really is up against.
Really?
People aren't looking at the way Republican voters vote. They vote for men.
I beg to differ. I think that Michelle Bachmann is not only is she a leader in her party, but she's the chair of the Tea Party caucus. And you know, I'm not the one to defend Michelle Bachmann, Harris. I got to tell you. But in this situation, I think Michelle Bachmann has a right to run. She's developed a clear mantle for herself, a clear base of voters, and I don't think it really matters what she's done in Congress. I think she's very clearly said, and she said in the debate yesterday, not only do I sit on the House Intelligence Committee, but I was one of the few Republicans that stood up to Hank Paulson and George W. Bush about the blank check to Wall Street. And that right there is going to get voters excited, are going to get voters enthusiastic, especially because I tend to find Mitt Romney to be very boring. And as a Democrat, I'm praying that we get Mitt Romney as the nominee because I think President Obama will trash him in the 2012 election pretty simply. One, Mitt Romney won't win his home state, whichever home state that is, but he will clearly not win Massachusetts, and he was the model for President Obama's health care plan. So he's just as much a Democrat as President Obama is in my mind.
Spoken as a true Democrat.
Oh, gosh,
that's exactly what I would expect you to say. You're looking for flash. You're looking for a lot of glib generalities and somebody with a great smile and presence. Like. But it's not reality. What this country needs now is reality. We need somebody who can really govern and lead.
Well, hold on a second.
You sound like Tim Pawlenty, former governor out of Minnesota, when he says, no, seriously, he says if you want a chat, what was it, a commander in clown or a clown in chief or something like that, then don't vote for me. I mean, that's basically was a vote for somebody else. Right. I want to say that not have I seen this really since Sarah Palin. But when we started talking about Michelle Bachmann, the live chat just woke up. It's like their coffee just got an instant little caffeine jolt. Hendrik Van Dorp says Perry/Bachmann is a ticket. So that would be Rick Perry out of Texas and Michelle Bachmann out of Minnesota. But I don't care much for her. She doesn't seem to be polarizing, but she, at least on the live chat, I don't think people feel like they know enough about her to really like her yet. But they'd rather see her than anybody else out there. What does that tell you?
Well, wait, he said Perry/Bachmann.
They see her as a vice presidential.
That's right. That's the problem women have. They are not seen as leaders. If Michelle Bachmann is the party's nominee, Michelle Bachmann, I'm saying it right now, she will lose. It's because this country simply isn't ready to elect women.
Wait a minute. Now, Richard, let's put it to, let's say this, because I find it hard to believe that you would say that, considering how well Hillary Clinton did. And, I mean, in some circles, people would argue that they expected a woman to get elected first before a African-American man in this country. So maybe we've already bested the curve that you're talking about.
No, if we had that curve, Hillary Clinton would be president. I think.
Hold on a second.
Let's get Richard's. I told you she was fiery.
Hold on a second now, Congresswoman. Now, let's just put it out there. First of all, not only did Hillary Clinton put 1 million cracks in the marble ceiling that stops women
Oh,
from
now it's
ascending.
marble. Before it was crystal. What is it?
But on top of that, we saw Speaker Nancy Pelosi, for the first time in history, we had a woman Speaker of the House of Representatives, and she did more, and she was one of the most powerful speakers in modern times.
She was not elected by the general public, however, to be in that position.
That's not the point. That's not the
colleagues.
point, though. That's not the point, Congressman. What she did is she had the ability to lead. And what America needs to know is that a woman has as much the ability to lead as a man does. And that's a distinction, Harris, between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party.
Gee, let's look at what Nancy did.
Because we know that women know how to lead. As much as you might not like it, when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker, we saw the economy turn around. Under President Obama, an African-American man, we saw the economy turn around.